What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the HTM buddy build of the U.S.S. Reliant. I'm Jordan with A Line in the Stars.
And I'm Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
And we're here. And I'm here basically in the same spot I was last week. I wasn't able to get much done. It's time for Wonderfest, and so I'm getting a little bit behind, and so I'm right where I was. Yeah. So where are you at, Ken?
I've gotten a little bit further.
Yeah.
With my light blocking and all that, it turned out pretty good. Got my white on there, and my Raytheon
Nice.
still is letting light through.
Nice.
So that's a bonus for
Excellent.
me. And this week I'm going to start working on my bridge area. I got my UV light here that you recommended, Jordan. Appreciated
Awesome.
that. It's not very bright, but
No.
However, I find that I'm not really seeing any light really coming through on my grill. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and put some liquid chrome in there. This is a refill one, so it's just got the spout and it lets it come out easier. So I'm going to try and put some in the bottom and just kind of slosh it around, and then let it sit for a day or two, and then we'll see if that reflects enough light up that it makes it a little bit brighter so I can see it.
Yeah, the reason I went with the UV light there is, kind of looking at the images of that vent, it's just not a very bright blue light that kind of comes out of there. It's kind of real pale. So that was kind of what my thought was. And so, we'll see if that actually works, but that's a good idea. Mine, I definitely had to like do this and like look at it to see the light coming through. So, okay, well, that's cool.
And then I'm also going to work, I think I'm going to try and do an experiment with 3 0402 lights in the front here for the 3 lights that you can see coming out of the front. And
cool.
If that experiment works, then maybe in the following video I'll look at doing some red lights on the sides as well. But that's what I'm looking at. And for you, Jordan?
The name of the game for this one is much the same as what I said in the last episode. For you at least. I am going to work on trying to get my crystals taken care of, both for the upper and lower. I was looking at the kit parts as I stole some of the clear sprue from this for another project. So I was looking at the kit parts and kind of looking ahead at basically getting the crystals taken care of. And then from there, I need to go through and get my chiller grills taken care of again. Yeah. I did not succeed very well at getting those done, so I need to get the glue out of this side, and then I'm just going to go ahead and sand that down. I realize I probably shouldn't soak these in IPA. I was kind of frustrated, and I'm like, I'm just going to soak it all down because I don't know what that's going to do to the resin over a long period of time, because there's a bunch of resin pieces in here. I've heard that resin pieces like soak up the IPA, and so I want to try to avoid that. So we're just going to sand that down, and then likely I finally ordered the tape cutting mat. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt. Yes, I ordered that. I'm going to attempt to get that at least the tape down. But as I said, Wonderfest is coming up, and so I'm going to try to at least get a little bit of the work done so that I'm not falling so far behind.
That brings us to an announcement with Wonderfest just around the corner.
Yeah.
I'll let you make that announcement.
Well, yep. This is my second Wonderfest. I'll be going to Wonderfest. If you guys aren't aware, it's the sci-fi model show in Louisville, Kentucky, the last weekend of May, which is going to be May 30th, 31st, and June 1st. So I am bringing a few models to the competition. I got to fly out from the Seattle area, and so for next week, we're not going to have, well, I guess based on recording, that's going to be Yeah, so next week. So I believe this is going to come out the week of Wonderfest. So next week, yeah, that would be next week. We will not have an episode as I won't be here to record our segment for that. So, yeah. Otherwise, I'm bringing this. What am I bringing? I'm bringing the Star Destroyer, the Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon, and the Razor Crest, which I still have to finish with only a week to go. No big deal, no pressure. So yeah, that's the big announcement. So we'll have the episode this week, but then the episode for next week we'll be skipping over. So we will be back the week following. I got that
Right
right,
on.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
I want to just give a shout out to our sponsor for our episodes here of the Buddy Build here. That'd be Cass over at Lake Monster Detail. Thank you very much, Cass. And he was actually on a stream just this past weekend on Will's channel, the Instance Chair, and it was really interesting to watch. It was a 2-hour stream.
Wow.
And we got to see, I mean, I learned some stuff that I didn't know. That Dawn's Light and Magic is where Cass basically learned the trade of casting resin pieces. I think he started with an updated version of the refit of the officers' lounge.
Oh,
Because
cool.
I think Dawn only had it as the one from the motion picture, and then Cass did the version from the later films where it was the officers' lounge there with the big table, like when you saw the Cleons came on board to have dinner. So
Guess who's coming to dinner?
yes, and he actually it was funny because he said. He showed it to Dawn, and he worked all summer doing this little scale piece. And Dawn's like, "Yeah, that looks really good. I could have knocked that out in a weekend." So, so anyway,
Awesome.
Cass ended up working for Dawn and with Dawn for a long time, and they would work on parts and cast them and that sort of thing. And you learn that Dawn had more resin in his fridge than he actually had food.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So,
That's funny.
but unfortunately, we did lose Dawn back a few years ago, back in 2019. And when that happened, Cass had kind of already had his Lake Monster details, but I think it was kind of under a different name at the time. If you watch the stream,
Okay.
you'll see it. And he went. He was contacted by Dawn's family and to come get anything he wanted or whatever. But it turns out the family had already thrown away a lot of the masters.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I think he said there was only one that was usable, and the rest were all gone. He did have some of the molds that were created from those masters, but some of them weren't very good for reuse. So some of it has
Mm,
been unfortunately lost to the the tides of time, so to speak.
right.
Um, and then they talked about other things like I didn't realize that Cass is actually big into building wooden model ships.
Oh, is he really?
He is more
Oh,
so
how
than
funny.
anything else.
That's cool.
It is. And what else did I learn? Oh, one of the things they're looking. I had mentioned. I was in chat and I had asked if they would ever consider doing a um, for like this kit or the 350 one. Eventually, one day it does come out of the Reliant. If they would consider doing the damaged nacelle part that
Oh
would come off
yeah.
of it. So you could do that. And then I forgot to ask, but you would probably also want the damaged weapons pod as well.
Oh yeah.
And then so that way you could do the Reliant as when it's drifting off, and Khan's pretty much the only one left alive on the ship.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
That'd be super cool.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, but anyway, it's well worth the watch, just for what you learn, and then some of the stuff other people suggested that they would like to see, and yeah, um, he talks about he did have his issues with his printer, his 3D printer, but he's kind of got it working now, and he was showing he did have to show off one of these pieces back. We're trying to remember what it was, like if it's a vent or something.
Right.
Yeah, so you got the two on either side. So we had one of those he showed off. It's done now. So hopefully after Wonderfest we can start seeing some parts from Cass again, because I'm sure he's
Sweet.
busy with Wonderfest.
Yeah. And I'll be looking forward to it. I have Wonderfest meeting Will, and Cass is going to be there too, right? So,
Yeah, they're both going to be
yeah,
there by the sounds of it.
yeah. So I'll make sure to meet them, and I'm gonna share a little bit of the footage from well, at least some of the images that I have. I always take photos after done building for a session. So, but yeah, that's been pretty cool to be able to meet them. But I also need to get that stream checked out. I need to give that a watch. I might even do that tonight after we're done recording, as I need to work on some other things. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Even if you're just listening to it while you're doing other things, it's great to listen to, just as much as seeing some stuff. They were having a few
awesome.
technical issues at the start, but that's growing pains with streaming.
Yep. It's funny is like we kind of take it for granted a little bit. We're all so used to streaming all the time, like just press the buttons and go. But for some people, it can be a bit of a pain in the butt to get going. So thank you, StreamYards.
Yes, I have to say that myself and I'm guessing you as well. We kind of lucked into it. We came in later into the family there with the streaming and on HTM, and everything was already kind of running smoothly. So we just kind of jumped on the train, so to speak, and kept rolling and saw how
Yep,
it was done.
exactly, exactly.
Also, Will just put out another episode of his Reliant build, mostly
Oh
based
boy,
on painting of the
awesome.
hull and stuff.
Oh sweet.
So
And on that note, I actually have a bit of a mail call. One last thing before we go.
okay,
I was really, really, really trying hard to get the mass designs, but of course, with all the tariffs and all the things going on, um, that wasn't so easy. So I have the Aztec dummy.
okay,
So I think it's going to kind of work out because we're going to be kind of showing off the two different big masking kits, I guess. So I do have the Aztec dummy for this. The instructions leave much to be desired, as Lou's mask instructions tend to be, but it's all the nice yellow, bright yellow masking with the stuff that he uses. But there it is. Fairly simple masking design.
yep,
Includes all this stuff up in this area as well. So yeah, I went ahead and got that. Picked this up from it'd be Cult TV Man. So got this
okay,
one from Cult TV Man.
nice,
And Steve also sent along some stickers, and he's like, "Come see me at Wonderfest," and I'm like, "Okay."
nice.
So I just kind of mentioned what we're doing in this build, and I know that there's like some rumblings and rumors of the 350s, so maybe I might have some information about that at Wonderfest.
I hope so. Will said he's in stream. He talked about how he's gonna directly ask them about it.
Nice. Yeah,
So
because I mean, Polar Lights is there. Like they are there. AMT is there. So they're right next to usually next to Steve, Cold TV Man stand. So um I, he said, "Come see me." So I'm gonna go see him.
right on, right on.
All right. Well, Ken, good luck with your build this week, and really appreciate your patience with me as I get caught up. And yeah, look forward to seeing what you get done.
All right, thanks, and I look forward to seeing your progress as well. All right, so what we're going to do here first is we're going to try and get a bit of silver in here to, or Molotov chrome, I should say, into here on the bottom, on the inside, to kind of give it a reflectiveness to hopefully allow that UV light to reflect up in there a bit better. Now, with this stuff here, I'm just going to take a paint pot just to show you. This is a refill. This isn't the actual marker. And you can just take drops like that. It actually comes out nice and chromy and reflective once it's given some time to dry. It usually takes quite a while. Sometimes they say a day or so. But it's going to be in here where it's not going to be touched, so it should be fine. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a syringe to inject it, because that's not going to fit into here and still get to the bottom. It'll run out to the top, and that's not what I want. So I'll just take a little shot glass here, and I'll get myself a syringe, and I'll come back and inject that. All right, so here I have just a little 5 milliliter syringe, and I have these tips here. These are non-sharp tips there. They're blunt, so they're good for this sort of application. So what I'll do here is I'll take some of my chrome here and just kind of, probably a bit of a waste. I'll probably won't use up this much, but that's okay. So there we go. Liquid metal. That's a poor Arnold impression. Anyway, so we will take this now, and we will, sorry, you may not be able to see this so well when I do this, but I'll inject it into there. There we go. Now, what I'll do is I'll take a piece of paper towel and just hold it under there as I move it around. If you can kind of see now, you can see that reflectiveness in there as it moves around. So, kind of give it the best I can. I don't know if it got everything in there. Looks like it may not have got that corner. So, let's see if we can get a little bit more. There we go. There, and get a little bit on my finger, etc., etc., etc. And we'll try to inject a little bit more over to that side. So, there we go. Hopefully that did it. Yeah, from what I can see now, it looks like it got everywhere in there, as you can kind of see. So that works. So it's something to keep in mind if you're doing this yourself. Maybe learn from my lesson and do that ahead of time. So you can see a lot's spilled out. The silver part just right there, but yeah, you can kind of see it there too. But that's okay. Not an issue. It'll just work as a good light reflector for me. So what I'll do is I'll let that sit for a while, maybe a day or two, and I'll come back and give it a look. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll take my bridge. I'll get set up with a tiny drill bit, and I'm going to try and insert some red 0402 SMDs. So let me move everything out of the way here, clear some space, and we'll come back and get working on that. All right, so I'm all set up here. I have my red 0402 set up, ready to go. Just testing it. It does work, and it does look like it will be the right size to go in that area, so I can get my 3 lights put in. So I think that's going to work really well. So what I need to do is I'm going big with this. Big compared to that. This is a 0.55 millimeter drill bit. So I'll come in here from just a little bit behind this lip and go in that way. So my idea is to put the 3 lights in, then I'll put lights in on the sides, probably on another episode here, and then somehow fit in maybe route in a bit of a channel down in here, kind of as deep as I dare, and then put something like some photo-etched or something in there to light block the rear part where I'll have just some white light for the rear. It won't be a perfect light block, but I think it'll be good enough. And also, if I don't want to use photo-etched, I could use some tulip or something like that as well. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off where I want my lights to go. So I'm going to use my little fine tip marker here. And we will see. So one kind of right here. And one about here. See about there. The third one kind of right there. Now this lip edge isn't perfectly straight, but that's fine. I don't think it's designed to necessarily be that way because it's just a lip that holds it. It's not part of an aesthetic that's going to be seen. Okay, so I've got my rotary tool here, and it's controlled by my foot pedal. So I'm going to come in here. Nice and slow to begin with. There we go, starting to drill in. And there we go. Okay. So we need to go a little bit deeper, obviously. So I'm keeping an eye. There we go. If you can kind of see where it appears, how deep I've gone in. I'll try it on the next one, see if we can, hopefully you can see. So again, we'll come in. There we go. Oh, it's a little bit hard. And if I need to, I can go with a bigger drill bit after. Just making sure. There we go. So I think that's a good start. I'll see if I can even get the light in there. That looks pretty small. Like I said, I can always go bigger. Better to start small and go bigger than it is to start too big and do something you can't undo. No, I don't think that's going to work. I think I need to go bigger, a bit bigger. But it's not bad. I know the camera's kind of blowing it out, but yeah, not bad. Okay, so I'm just going to change my drill bit here. I'll be right back. All right, so here we have a 0.7 millimeter drill bit. So I'll come in here and we'll, again, see what we can clear out. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get the light in there now. Okay, we're going to make sure our wires are not going to cause an issue. There we go. I mean, it's hard for me to see too. I can imagine it's hard for you guys. So, nope, still got to go bigger. So we'll go see how much bigger we can go. I'll come back kind of when I got a size and I'll let you know what the size is. All right, so here we have it. 1.4 millimeter is kind of where I found was a good fit to kind of get it in there. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I will get them in there like that. I might as well, while I'm doing it, I might as well do all the lights and get them burnt in over this next day or so. and then I can worry about getting them installed. But yeah, 1.4, so that's what I'll do. I'll mark off the others. I'll drill these ones out, and then yeah, I'll be ready to go. So I'll get that, and I'll be right back. All right, so there's all 9 of my lights in there. As you can see, they're not 100% positioned up and down where I want them, but they're in their spots for now. I'll adjust the height when I go to permanently affix them. Right now, I just have them taped into place. But there we go. I'm going to let that burn in for about 24 hours. I have an extra one in here just in case I need it. Hopefully I won't. But if I don't need it somewhere on here, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll use it somewhere else on the ship. But that's it. That's it for now. I'll come back probably tomorrow and see how they made out, and then I'll come back and we'll see how we made out with the reflectiveness of our grill here on our top saucer. We'll see how that made out. Right there, you can see the nice reflectiveness right now, and we'll see how the UV light does in there. So I'll be back tomorrow. All right, so it's been just a little bit over 24 hours here, and as you can see, my lights are all still going just fine, as well as my spare. So we've had no issues, so we're happy with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my UV light, which has been burnt in already, but we're going to check and see how that reflective Molotov chrome has worked for causing the reflectiveness. So I'm going to put this out of the way, and I'm going to get to work and connect this, and we'll see how this looks. So I'll be right back. All right, so I've got my UV light connected, as you can see. Yeah, it's, again, not too bright, but let's see what happens now. If I were to put this in here with the chrome, and we'll see. There we go. Take my glasses off, and now we can actually see that light in there a little bit better. I really like that. Let me turn off a couple of these lights here and we'll see how it's looking. Turn this other light off. Now you can kind of see the light glow of that blue. So I like that. It's a nice effect. The chrome almost might be a little too bright, but I think I'm going to be happy with that. I think once we kind of get things painted up here, it'll make a difference. There'll probably be a little overspray that's going to get in there, which will dull that down, which I'm fine with. Worst case scenario, if I have to, I can put a little more chrome in there because I know that's going to work. Or if I need to, I could put something like a wash in there. Like a panel line wash or something just to dull it down a bit if need be. So those are kind of some options here. But for now, you know, I'm happy with that UV light. It's not too bright. It's just a nice subtle light. I know on the camera, it's looking like it's more silver, but from where I'm sitting, I can see it as a nice light blue to my eye. And no, I kind of like that. Other options are when you're putting this together. So I'm just going to mention, even without my hands cupped around there, looking at my screen here, it looks more silver. But when I look at it with my eye, it's got that light blue color. So I'm happy with that for now. Like I said, if need be, if overspray kind of getting in there and stuff from painting doesn't tone down that silverish color enough, I'll put in a wash or something like that. We'll take a look and see how it ends up working in the end. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. We're just going to keep it short this week. Because we're still waiting for parts from Cass, and Cass, of course, is going to Wonderfest this week. There's not going to be an episode next week due to Wonderfest, but please join us the week after. Jordan and I had been talking, and Jordan's going to give us a rundown of everything he saw and experienced at Wonderfest, or at least a good chunk of it. He's hoping to run into Will and Cass. And don't forget to check out Jordan's video. He's a couple weeks behind, but if I keep it a little slower, maybe he'll start to catch up, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I don't want to leave him in the dust too badly. So go check out his video. Check out Will at the Ensign's chair. He's got, again, great videos. He's just recently done a few more interviews with Cass and a few other people. I think it was Chris. I'm not sure Chris's last name. And they were talking about things to do at Wonderfest, or things you should do at Wonderfest. So that was another stream. They're going to be streaming from Wonderfest, so something to keep in mind. So once again, thanks again to Cass at Lake Monster Details for sponsoring our build. Great man, does great work, and does a lot for this hobby. And I just want to say, come back next time in 2 weeks' time, and we'll see where we're going to go from there. So everybody take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.